What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brees, and you're now tuned into the hottest platform for all the upcoming entrepreneurs, business professionals, entertainers, and creatives around the city. So today we got a highly requested episode with a man that I give a lot of credit to. Because if you know about me as a trader, then you should know like the person that really put me on. I always showed love to him, and he's sitting right next to me. And this guy, he's done amazing things, amazing numbers. I've seen it live. A lot of people that I trade with have seen it live, and I don't even think this man needs an introduction, man. You see the face, you know the name. So Tim Trades, how we doing today?
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. I'm doing well. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
yeah. So it's a crazy backstory to think about because it's like a lot of people that know my trading journey know like it's been probably like what 4 years now I've been in the game, and from those 4 years or 3 years, 4 years I'd say, and from those 4 years it's like I went through the era, right, the forex era we spoke about in Kimani's episode, right, the IML. Then I went to just trading by myself. And trading by myself, it's like I didn't really have like a clear cut direction in where I wanted to go in terms of learning until, I met this guy right here. And, this guy, he had like a big following, a big group of followers. So to me, I'm just looking at myself as just a number. So it's like for me to fast forward, 4 years later, be sitting next to this guy to speak about not just his journey, but my journey as well, and give my flowers and show gratitude. It's humbling because again, I see myself as just a number to this guy. Now it's like I'm sitting next to this guy. This guy knows my face. He knows my name. Like, it's like meeting one of your like childhood heroes. So yeah, Tim, definitely want to share my flower. Well, sent the flowers to you.
All love, bro. All
Yeah,
love. Appreciate you.
yeah. So backstory is like I started in IMO, and then I was telling you you had the Gold Gods chat, and then from the Gold Gods chat, I went solo, right? I was just through the internet trying to find that exact, resource that was gonna do it for me. So it's like I'm learning from like 20 different people, including y'all.
It's
And
the
then it's
worst.
yeah, I know, because I didn't know better. So I'm just like, man, listen, Tim didn't go live on Monday, somebody else did. I'm gonna go watch this person live on Monday, Tim going live on Tuesday, I'm gonna go watch Tim on Tuesday. You see what I'm saying? Like I was
Mhm.
just trying to like allocate my attention to all these different sources of information, just trying to learn it. That finally just locked in with you because you and Todd at the time were like the most consistent people out there. And then from there, just always being on your lives. Even when y'all in IML, yeah, like I was telling you, you had the private lives, and my friends who were in your IML group, used to like sneak me in, you know,
Yeah, I used to get in a lot of trouble.
yeah,
I think I got suspended like 3 times.
yeah. It's just like going from that, and then even to when you guys like everybody started leaving IML, and you had well, you started up SMT, you still have SMT. Being a part of that is just I came a long way as a trader. I definitely got to say thank you to you, to Ty, and like of course, like other people around that, they got their flowers as well, and then ICT, of course. But
Mhm.
yeah, so if we,
Yeah, man. Like that journey, like Go Gods chat, that was like my formulated years. Like that was when I really wasn't like as knowledgeable as everyone thought I was. Like I just had
I
intuition.
mean, shit, you were showing us some
No, yeah, I
crazy.
had intuition. Like, like I wasn't like completely experienced in like ICC concepts. I wasn't really that experienced, but like I had a edge.
Mhm.
And so I just capitalized on that. And then like when I started trading gold, that was fun. That was a lot of
Yeah,
fun, man. We used to trade gold like right 9:30, 9:45 a.m. Man, it's not like that anymore though. Like recently
Mhm.
gold has been like up and down, but like, the easier like, how the account used to flip back then was so
Oh
much
my
easier.
gosh, man.
It was so much easier.
Man,
Like
y'all, you guys got me my first car, and I didn't even like tell you. I don't remember if I told Ty that, but like I remember it was from the Gold God chat, and it's
no
crazy because
way.
it's like my IML leader at the time he tried to take credit for that. He's like, "Oh, you see, like we over here putting people in cars. How come you guys didn't join our group?" Well, I told her, I said, "Yo, bro, you could delete this because honestly, bro, you had nothing to do with this. This was from guys that aren't even my leaders, you know."
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and these are it's funny enough because how did I get the Ghost God chats? Because he was putting them in his chat. I'm not gonna say his name, but
I mean, yeah, we basically Lizaldo. So what happened was one day I was on a live with Lizaldo,
mhm.
and
That's who Teacup, right?
yeah,
Okay, I
and
see. I still
then
remember.
and basically I sent the gold trade out, and like when everyone got in, just shot straight 130 pips, like in like 5 minutes. He's like, "Oh, we need to make a chat." So Ty was on that
Got excited.
webinar. Ty made the chat and then added me as admin, and then basically I basically ran the whole thing.
Mhm.
So that's where like everything started. Well, so I have to give my flowers to Lizaldo because if it wasn't for Lizaldo, that chat would have never happened,
Mhm.
and thousands of people would not have been making money.
And I probably would have never been a trader. Like to
Yeah,
this day, I
you
probably would
know,
have quit like
there was a
2019.
good like 5, 6,000 people at one point, and it got so crazy to a point where people were cross recruiting each other.
Yeah,
Like even my downlines were going in there and cross recruiting everybody to
yeah.
our squad, and then basically we had to delete the discussion chat,
Mhm.
and then just became just a channel, so people couldn't see everyone's members and everything like that, and
Oh no, I
became
wasn't even
like
there for the chat, so this was
yeah,
probably before I got there.
yeah. So that thing got crazy. I was like chairman 10 at the time, and I started to get like
Mhm.
like so much drama from like MMO side, Wealth Club side, Profit Empire side, Trade Houses
Wait, I
side.
thought MMO was everybody. No,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like leaders were trying to basically
no, but I'm saying like I thought MMO was like here and then like
yeah,
Prophet Empire
so
is your group, so it was right
so
there, right?
it was MMO
Okay.
and Wealth Club, right? Which was like Mr. Banks,
Oh, I thought it
Emery,
was
and Darwin.
Oh, this whole time I'm thinking they were all MMO.
Yeah, no, they were all
Oh wow.
together,
Okay.
right? And then basically we were their
Ah, so these are
downline. We were
subdivisions.
their
Mhm.
downline, but we were their like strong leg
Mm.
because we were going crazy. And so basically their strong leg was basically getting tarnished because we were cross recruiting people.
Mhm.
Like there was at a time I had like 450 DMs from different teams left and right. I couldn't do anything about it. And so at one point I did like a holiday thing where I did like a 30-day like education thing. And then Jason Brown and like someone else found out about it. I got reported. They suspended me for charging IML members. And I'm just like, what do you want me to do? I can't cross recruit them. They want to learn. I want to capitalize on it. Why shouldn't I? You know? And so
Right.
like that's what I didn't like about like the whole IM thing. Cause like
Mhm.
people came here to learn how to trade, you know? That's really like what it was about. And I love to trade. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I still
Well, at
love to
least in
trade.
your group.
Yeah, in our group.
At least in your group.
Yeah,
I
nah,
can't say the same for my group.
man, we did a lot. I did a lot that time. Like I used to do the 40/40 club meetings
Yeah.
and also the Herald Square one. We had an office in Herald Square, 34th Street, Herald
Oh wow.
Square.
Oh
Like that
yes.
was that
I
was
went to that.
crazy. Like that got crazy. That room was so hot and there would be like 80, 90
Yeah,
people in there. It
I
got
went to that.
crazy in there, yo, like wild. And yeah, from we went from there, those offices, and just everything just got crazy, man. Like I used to do webinars. I used to have to do like because I was a chairman. I was a P5. I was like P2, P5, and then chairman. Like I went from P5 to chairman in 30 days.
Mhm.
Like that was crazy. And I remember like I couldn't really like trade anymore. Like it came to a point where it's just like everything was mad stressful.
Mhm.
And like I just said, you know what? Like I'm no longer gonna build. I'm just gonna strictly trade.
Mhm.
And then that's when like I spoke with Manny, and then we were trying to see if we
Yeah.
could get on a product. I was on swipe trades for a bit. And then I got kicked off of swipe trades because I had cross recruited my ex at the time, or my girl at the time. I'd cross recruited
But they
her.
can't be mad at that though.
Yeah, like I
That's
was
your
like, yo, what the
girlfriend,
fuck?
bro. Like,
And I blamed it on Darwin. I was like, Darwin said I could do it. So Jason Brown and Darwin were on the phone. Like, yeah, Darwin said I could.
I
So
mean,
whatever.
was she like high ranked or something?
Nah, she was P6.
They
It
were
wasn't
mad
anything
over that.
crazy. But
Mm.
some
Compliance.
like one of Jason Brown's like leader was complaining to him, like, oh yeah, he took one of my main leaders, blah blah. It wasn't crazy. Like it was just 12 people.
Mhm.
It was literally just 12 people. But I was on swipe trades at the time, and they kicked me off. And I was doing really well. I was doing I had like all the bonuses.
Yeah, I was
I remember
surprised.
I
I
went to
didn't.
like the
Mhm.
Dallas convention. I think it was like Trade Smart and like somewhat like two other people were like, "Yo, do you mind like sharing the bonuses?" I was like, "No, like it's not my fault. You suck."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause I was doing like 10 to like 14% a week, so each trade was like 1 to 2%
Mhm.
that I sent out on swipes. And then yeah, basically then what was Videsh? I think was like the director at the time. Videsh and
I don't know what that
Oren,
was.
Videsh and Oren Wright basically kicked
Orange.
me
Yeah, I
off.
know Orange.
And then yeah, they kicked me off basically after that. After Jason Brown just removed me, it's like whatever. And then yeah, that's basically how that went. And then And then yeah, I just basically went to Manny. Me and Manny became close at one point. He needed help on like his lives or whatever, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. And then we traded there for like 4 months, and then I had gotten cancer after, and then that happened. And then I came back, and like nobody really helped me out at that time. Like
Mhm.
when I went through that, so I was like, you know what? When I come back, I'm gonna just leave. I gave it one last chance. I went to Mr. Banks's crib. We went to like a convention, whatever. We did like a whole team like thing, and it just didn't work out. It really wasn't working out. Like people weren't cooperating. Everything was just there's so much drama. I couldn't. I didn't want to deal with it
Mhm.
anymore. I had no patience. I had no patience for like the high school shit
Yeah,
anymore.
that's really the vibe everybody used to say it was high school.
Yeah, it's because everyone had an ego.
Mhm.
Everyone wanted to be the person. It's just like, like that company would have done so much better. Like, not to talk bad or anything, but just like the company would have done better if they valued the traders more.
Oh, hell yeah.
If they because their claim was like, oh yeah, traders have egos. Well, they wouldn't have an ego if you like compensate them the right way.
But the marketers had egos too.
Yeah, so basically the marketers told people, yo, don't trade, just build, and then the builder was telling the traders, yo, stop trading, this,
We
that, the
got
third.
products, like
Quit your job, da da da. Had
mhm.
people like going to conventions, sleeping on floors and shit. Yo, that shit's
Yo, there were
crazy.
people taking one ways with no way home. I knew people on my
Yeah,
team that was stranded in ATL, Dallas.
I feel bad. I
Yeah.
feel bad looking back. I never did that. Like, I never pushed my team to go to convention. I never pushed, like, I had told people, yeah, I'm gonna go convention. Whatever. I'm a leader at the time, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna go. Um, but I
And
never like told my team like, yo, if you don't
and
got the money,
and
like,
you got the
don't.
plaque too, right?
Yeah,
I didn't stay for the whole thing. I think I stayed for like the first night and that was it.
yeah. I have like the whole thing. Like my very first convention being, I was at the first convention.
Mhm.
I walked in there P1, right? But by the time convention came, I was already P2.
But
Like I was,
actually, we should let the audience for like the people who don't know like understand like the ranks and stuff like that.
yeah. So like P150 is you got 3 people under you making 150 a month. P600 you got 12 people. You making
Then so on and so on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And P1000 1,000. P2000 that's what is it 75. P5K is
Like
225
220.
people.
Then chairman.
Chairman 10 is 500.
But chairman is usually the rank that, most people aim for because
Yeah,
that's
because
the
at
six
chairman,
figure.
like you got a lot of bonuses. Like I was weird. Yeah, there's like our compensation was $2,500 a week, right? But then there was bonuses like every 2 weeks or something like that. So like a 10K income a month actually became like 14 to 17, depending on your legs, because you got like 1 to 2% per leg or something like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was pretty good. Like, and then yeah, Chairman 25 XYZ. I was like 100 orders off the Chairman 25, and then I got cancer. I got cancer, and then I had to step away, and then like I just left after that.
Mm.
And then I started like SMT, like the signal service, the education stuff. I just recently launched the education stuff. Um, and yeah, man, like it's been good. Like I have right now, I'm working on a phase 2 with FTMO. I'm like 4% away or something like
For
that.
yourself or like for like
No,
the
yeah, for
clients? Okay.
myself. Because I got burned by my forex funds. I got burned.
Yeah.
I had three 300K accounts. I had 900K capital. I got clipped, and that stressed me out because all my eggs were in that basket.
Mm.
So like I got a little stressed. FTMO just released something which is called like I think it's Prime, Supreme, and Quant Lane. So that's my goal for this year,
Mhm.
this upcoming year. So what that is basically I don't see any other prop firm doing this. This is why I don't like people like if you're a trader, don't use like high frequency trading bots for like low class firms. It
Mhm.
makes no sense. It makes no sense because you're not secure. You know what I mean? Like if you purchase an account with like for example like I don't know my funded forex, right? You don't know what point in time they're gonna stop paying you out
Mhm.
because you got things like FCMO, right, that have been around since 2015, right? I didn't even know about prop firms when I came into the forex space, and that's 2017. I signed up to IMO December 27th to 2017. I didn't even know anything about prop firms,
Mhm.
and then after what 2019, 2020, prop firms started to become a thing. Like during COVID, they started to pop off. So my thing is like, okay, we have something like FCMO. That is like the number one firm. That's where everyone should be putting their money. Like
Yeah,
in terms of like
even
getting
me.
funded, you should be going to FTMO.
Hmm.
You know, and the reason why I say this is because you're secure, and there's a lot of opportunity that comes with that. So going back to what I said, right? Like FTMO, there's a Prime and Supreme, and then Quant Lane. Prime is basically you have you need to have like a 200K account and process 4 withdrawals of 4%. And then you get basically like daily payouts, 5%,
Word.
like rollover bonus, and other things like that. Then you have Supreme. You have 200K accounts. They give you a 200K challenge account as well
Hmm.
when you get the Supreme. You need to have 6 months of consecutive payouts of 6%. So 6 consecutive months of 6%.
Hmm.
And then once you do that, you qualify for QuantLane. Now, and you go apply for interview at QuantLane. QuantLane is like their institutional hedge fund
Hmm.
and their proprietary LP, basically. And what happens is that when you apply to QuantLane, they're doing a 2-year fixed salary and an option to relocate to Prague and be on their like official like trading
Trading
floor,
floor. Okay.
which is pretty cool. So that's where me like, and I've told my group like, hey guys, like this I'm going to
Hmm.
like accomplish for this year. It's gonna take a whole year process most likely. Um, and so that should be a lot of traders' goals for like this upcoming year is doing that for FTMO because there you have a career path,
Right.
and this is just the start. You don't know what else they're gonna build,
Hmm.
right? So it's just gonna they're gonna turn into like an actual hedge fund,
Yeah.
like a real time hedge fund. That's where they're going with it. I see it. They're gonna have so much capital. They're gonna start bringing people into their team that are good traders. They're gonna start giving them millions of dollars of capital, and then start giving treating them like a senior analyst, a junior trader,
Hmm.
like things like that. And become a real like hedge. That's where I see FTMO's vision going, and I think that's solid,
Yeah.
right? Because how prop firms work, like bad operating prop firms, what they do is how they make money.
Recycle the fees.
Yeah, they recycle the fees and they slip you. They and
Hmm.
they look at all the bad traders. How a real firm operates is that they copy the profitable traders. So like that's how like that's just for the audience to know.
Hmm.
Like that's how a real like if you go to like Goldman Sachs or the World Bank
Yeah.
or like Merrill
Merrill
Lynch,
Lynch. Yeah.
like things like that, right? What are they doing? Well, kids are getting MBAs, trying to learn some quant models, whatever the fuck it
Hmm.
is, right? Excuse my language.
And then all the licensing and all the
Yeah, and
extra
then
stuff.
like all the licensing, whatever, to just become senior traders to get capital to do like want to find make models, quantitative and qualitative models, statistical models to do like 1 to 2% per year, right? On
Hmm.
like $50 million, for example, or $20 million, you know? And then you have traders like us who know like institutional trading and smart money concepts, right? Where you could do like 100% in like a couple months, you know what I mean? Or even inside like a couple weeks, knowing if you know like the right skill, And like I guess that's how I see like everyone in like the industry right now. Everyone's trying to like race to get funded, and like that's like the wrong approach.
Yeah. I feel like that
If
was.
you rush your
Hmm.
process, like going back, I rushed the process completely.
Yeah, I definitely did.
But like at the same time, I had like the capital coming in to keep on dabbling into the market.
Hmm.
Right now, we're like in an inflationary period. Like the goal right now really is to get funded, withdraw, invest into crypto, and
Repeat.
repeat. That's the cycle.
Yeah.
That's literally the cycle. Like sales and trading, sales, trading, commission, crypto. Like those are the 4 things that like everybody should be focusing on.
Mhm.
You know, and that's really where it's at. Because then you have things like ISO, ISO 222, where those are going to be the cryptos that everyone like the entire global network is going to be using. So if you look at it, we're stepping away from ACH.
Mhm.
The reason why we're stepping away from ACH payments is because it takes long for a wire to get processed through the bank,
Right.
right? If I was to send a wire, international wire,
It could take like 2 or 3 days.
yeah, and then they charge me, I think, what, eight
Like a
dollars,
five.
like
Yeah.
$10 or whatever, $5, $10 fee, whatever it is, and then it takes what 3 to 7 days, 10 days, whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
So you have ISO 222 protocol, and then you have the Fed Now service. Those
Yeah.
two
Fed
things
now. Yeah.
combined together, right? Because what's happening is that they're trying to create an instant cross-border payment system where say that you're a business in like Australia,
Mm-hmm.
but you're closed for the day, and I'm in New York City, I'm in America, and it's morning for me, and I want to pay your business, but at that current moment, the invoice your business, you're closed, so I can't pay you. So what this is doing, it's bridging that gap. It's allowing me to be like, say, for a client to be in USA and to instantly pay um a business their money, right? We can use the FedNow service, which would be a group of cryptocurrencies to to facilitate through that network.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that's about. And I like implore everyone to really look into that. I've been saying that since like 2019, 2020, like when COVID had initially like dropped
Right.
in America, or in Europe too. I was living in Netherlands at the time when COVID, and
Yeah, as I
I
say,
came back.
I was well, yeah, Amsterdam.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I was in Rotterdam basically, in Netherlands, which is basically Amsterdam, like right
Mm-hmm.
there. I had came back, and then COVID dropped, and then what's funny, on the World Economic Forum, there's like a COVID end date, right? It was like 2025, and then I saw something about ISO, and I was like, "What is this?" And I see like the official start date is 2025. I'm like, "Yo, this makes sense." And then the
Yes,
World
it
Economic
does.
Forum creates something called the Great Reset. They made a whole official document, and everything like that. And then now you see that we're at war now, right? So now there's something called problem, reaction, solution,
Right.
right? You initiate the problem, there's a reaction,
Reaction. You find a
and you
solution.
find a solution. And now, in my mind, this I may be wrong, right? But in my mind, I see the solution being the ISO cryptocurrencies and
Mm-hmm.
seeing massive adoption, right? There's going to be a point where people are going to get scared from the bank. Like right now, if you look at the bank, you get 0.0001% interest on your money,
Right.
right? You go to like Fidelity or Vanguard, you're getting like 5% per year, right? Or something like that. And people are scared. People rather put their money like in, like I was telling my mom the other day, like take all your money out of Chase and Citibank. One, they're probably not under FDIC laws anymore, only like up to like 100K. And if you put your money into Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, at least it's growing
Mm-hmm.
5% per year. You know what I mean? My mom, she's a real estate person. She does like a whole bunch of real estate.
Okay.
I respect her a lot. She that's where my hustle comes from. You know what I mean? Like I go to sleep and not have to not work at all, and I'll be okay. You know what I mean? But I have the ambition to try to create, like, nobody in my family trades, nobody invests,
No, for real.
nothing. Like,
And then there's you, with
and
the
then
black
there's me.
sheep.
You know what I mean? There's me, and then I'm over here dabbling into cryptocurrency. I'm dabbling into forex. I'm getting funded, and doing all this stuff. It's
Mm,
crazy.
moving all
My
over the
sister is
world.
listening though. My sister is listening.
Mm-hmm.
My girl's mom is listening too. I just created a Coinbase account for her yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to buy some cryptos for her, and because my mom is not gonna. She's scared. She cares about. She likes tangible assets.
Mm-hmm.
She can see it. She rents. She rents to tenants, stuff like that. She hustles, and she works for, like, board of education, stuff like that. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
So one question I have for you is like, so for the audience that don't know, you actually worked for the Fed back in the day.
Yeah, so in college I was in the honors program and stuff like that. Honestly, I was a late bloomer as a child. I didn't speak till I was 4 years old.
Oh wow.
In high school I did really bad. Like all I played was RuneScape in high school. Play video games. I graduated a 70 average and got accepted to one college, was John Jay and City Tech.
Mhm.
City Tech and John Jay. So I went to John Jay. My first year in John Jay was more like exploration. I went from an economics major, then I went to public administration, and then I found political science, and that's where I liked it. I like political science and government. Um, I had joined the honors program, and then I worked for Congressman Joseph Crowley my freshman year.
Mm.
I worked for him my freshman year, and that same summer, after my internship, I applied to another internship at Dorsey and Whitney LLP, a corporate law firm, top like 25 law firm. They introduced a first week young leaders program. I got in, and that was great. That was like my formative years, where I wanted to become like an attorney. I wanted to go to law school and stuff like that. And then the next year, I applied to a fellowship program called the Fund for American Studies, and I got a scholarship to go there to study at George Mason University and work for like whatever agency. So I applied to a whole bunch of think tanks, like political think tanks. I applied to 3 different federal agencies. Department of State, Department of Defense, the Pentagon, um, the Political and Military Affairs Bureau, and like a couple Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, like a whole bunch of non non governmental agencies, NGOs. And then I got into this program, the internship with Department of Defense, where I was working on Department of Defense projects for human trafficking, because my minor was human rights, and so I was taking an international economic policy class at George Mason University, and then I was working 3 times a week at the Pentagon, and so I'd have like a detail with me. They pick me up from like college or my dorm room,
Mhm.
and then they take me in, and then it was cool. It was good work. I had created like a commander checklist. I created commander's fact sheet, and I trained the combat commandants on their like area of responsibility. So like Southcom, which is basically South America,
Mhm.
CENTCOM, which is Central America, PACOM, Pacific, and like like the African continent. And basically, like I trained them on how to like combat human trafficking and like what they should be doing. I had introduced like a product which was called the My Biometrics, where it could feel off of your like radiation,
Okay.
and it would actually give the biometrics the DNA, and
Mm.
then you could pull up someone's criminal record. You could pull up, that's the way to target pimps and people who are running the agency,
Wow.
like brothels and stuff like that. So that was like a policy recommendation I gave in like for biometrics back in like 2016, 2015. Yeah, yeah, like 2016. Um, yeah, and then I left that work. I
Yes.
came back to college my senior year, and then no, sorry, my junior year. I worked for a private security firm in the summer, Control Risks. I worked for them. I left early actually because it was just a waste of time. Like I wasn't doing anything.
Mhm.
People are associates are here playing with like Nerf guns in the office, writing up MSAs, mutual sales agreements,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And I'm over here doing a country profile on Pakistan or whatever.
Mm.
I'm like, I already know how to do this stuff. You know what I mean? So, and then my boss was the used to be former director of the FBI. Um, no, no, not director. Director or like worked for the FBI, something like
Mhm.
that. His name was like William Daly or something. And then like he went to John Jay. So that's how I
Oh,
got
so
the
you had the
job.
connection, right?
That's
Yeah.
basically how I got the internship because I was a John Jay student. And he's like, "Oh yeah, the student looks pretty good, whatever." Um, but he was never there,
Mhm.
So I was just like, whatever. So fast forward senior year, I started writing up my honors program senior thesis. Had a crazy professor. I don't even remember his name. It was like 6 years ago. He trafficked small arms and light weapons for the American government, and he had a PhD from like Yale University and stuff like that. Yeah, he did a whole bunch of work, and he was a difficult professor. Like everything that we read, we had to take a picture of our sources, so we wouldn't be
What?
interpreting the
Mhm.
the paragraph ourselves. So I had to write my senior thesis, and I no longer wanted to do the human trafficking stuff because basically I found out that my boss got exposed. So
Oh, wow.
back then we had to do like literature reviews,
Mhm.
like like go on Google Scholar or like JSTOR and
Yeah,
stuff like
JSTOR,
that.
yep.
And so I was going through trying to find like an angle for my thesis. And I figured out like, oh, see my boss's name getting exposed. Basically, she took victims of human trafficking and had them testify in front of Congress and make fake testimonies, and she would rehabilitate them back in society. And then in turn, that she created her own arm, which is called the Polaris Project
Mm.
at Harvard Kennedy School.
Oh,
And
wow.
so she got the academics were exposing her. And so like I was like, damn, well, I wanted to go and work for the government and become like a human trafficking attorney or like do public service because I had met a mentor that's still my mentor right now. Uh, he was the president of the Defense Intelligence Agency,
Mhm.
and he basically that was like I think that was my takeaway, like what I was supposed to get from that experience because we still talk to this day. He invites me like scuba diving and all this stuff. Big guy shooting P90s, this and that. Like
Oh, wow.
I had dinner at his house in Maryland once. You drive in, everyone's waving hi to you. Some white
Right.
people shit, you know
Was
what I mean?
it
Crazy, crazy experience. And then so I changed my thesis from basically trying to support like how the American government like combats human trafficking to how the U.S. government perpetuates the issue of human trafficking. So I exposed the Obama administration, Clinton, and Bush
Mm,
basically in my
yeah,
thesis, 85-page thesis.
85.
Crazy,
Jeez.
yeah, because it was 60 pages of like
And this is
sources.
for undergrad, right?
Yeah, this is undergrad.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I had a tough undergrad. I graduated with 3.8 though.
That's what's up.
3.81 GPA, mad accolades and stuff like that. I was studying for my LSAT when I got out of college, but then I didn't really like, want to do it anymore because trading was like picking up. At that
Yeah.
time, I was a P2 as well, and trading was just picking up in college. So I just said, let me give it like let me take a year off and see where this goes, and then I ended up going chairman,
Hmm.
and then trading took off, and yeah, here we are.
Yeah, because
Like
my question was gonna be like, did that experience that you had working for the Fed, did that influence like how you, well, one dealt with trading, but two also with like the crypto projects now?
yeah, like not the crypto projects, but just like training me how to think. Like my mentor, that was the president of the Defense Intelligence Agency, like he taught me how to think.
Hmm.
And like one thing he told me was like, you know, if you choose not to do this type of work, do something that like you can make money for yourself. And that's what like I took away from that. But they taught me how to think.
Hmm.
Like my professor that was challenging, he taught me how to think. The reason why is because everything that we did had to be in claim, evidence, warrant. So like that's how you tell if somebody bullshits you, right? This is how it was basically like a teaching for like going out in the real world. Because think about it, if you write in claim, evidence, warrant, like you have a claim, and like, this is how you follow when people speak, right? They claim something, then they provide evidence for that claim, and then they have a warrant that ties their evidence back to the claim. And if it doesn't add up,
Hmm.
then their logic is off, and that's how you know someone's bullshitting you.
Yeah.
And so that's like the logic that he trained me to like, trained our class basically, because our class was basically everyone going to law school. Like
Right.
that was the point.
Hmm.
Because in law school, how do they write? Claim, evidence, warrant. You have
Or
an argument, you have evidence, you get a
yeah,
tie.
that's
Or
it.
in order for you to, when you go into a court, you can't just argue a case and
Right.
win. You have to tie it back to the law,
Hmm.
and the warrant is what ties it back to the law. Show
Mm.
the evidence to the claim. My client X Y Z. You know, so that's how court cases work.
Yeah.
So that's how that went. It trained me how to think, but like I was always very just skeptical and just very like objective and also like a visionary. I kind of like always took risk and always understood like, the world's moving at a different pace, technology is advancing and stuff like that. I only took trading seriously when I found ICT. That's the moment where I found that.
Yeah, me too. I ain't gonna lie.
Um that's the moment that kind of shifted everything because then I started to backtest everything. I said, oh, wow, like this is legit. Um Now, the only downfall of ICT is that you're not going to learn how to swing or call long term moves with him. You're going to have to do that with other things,
Hmm.
right? You can find swings through his like analysis, but he's not a top down. Like he's not like he doesn't call bottoms or tops.
Right.
Like he'll never
I
do
mean,
that.
he preaches that too. I'm not
Yeah,
here to call
he'll
bottoms or tops.
yeah, but that's to like cover up his pitfall.
Hmm.
To call bottoms or tops, like that's about volume. Like, and so one of my good friends that like I'm doing business with right now, Jordan Morgan, he
Oh,
introduced that to
he
me.
was educated, right?
Yeah, he's an educator.
Oh, he had trade. Well, he
Yeah,
had the other trade house.
yeah, Mr. Seven
Yeah.
Sources like on IG.
Okay.
Um, Mad respect for that guy. Me and him are like this. We're like this.
Hmm.
He's a nerd. I'm a nerd. you know, he's a whole dad and everything. I respect the guy. Um, he put me on to this book. It's called Wyckoff.
Yeah,
Trade's
Wyckoff.
about to happen.
Mm.
And so I started reading it. It just came in like 2 days ago. I started reading it, and basically, it's I see how I see where ICT's like downfall is. It's basically he doesn't use volume in his trading. He sees volume as fake, right? Which like is kind of true, right? Like, but there's spikes in price that happen, and you can see it beforehand where those spikes will be the imprints where people are actually there's demand or supply.
Right.
And although supply and demand zones are fake, right? Granted, right? I agree. Supply and demand zones are fake, but not in the term of like long term swings. because if you use something like command of traders, like COT data plus a volume profile plus like Wyckoff with ICT concepts, yo, it's crazy. There's a recipe. Like there's a recipe for that, and that's how you catch really good swings. Like Nas at 14K, or like gold. We caught bottoms on gold at 1815 on that NFP that day. We called the
Oh,
bottom
you're
on
saying like a
gold.
couple months ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I caught that 1863.
I didn't hold it because at the time I had a FTMO.
Yeah, that's
I
a
didn't have an
great.
FTMO swing account, and then I didn't know that you could switch your FTMO account.
Oh, oh,
You
for
could
real?
transfer it over. Yeah, I
No, I
didn't
mean
know
I knew
that.
that. But I'm saying, oh,
Yeah, I didn't know that you could switch from a regular account to a swing account,
yeah.
but you had to wait till like your withdrawal
Mhm.
or like your start account. I didn't know that because I didn't really read the rules like that because I was fucking with like other firms for a while,
Yeah,
and I came back to FTMO recently, after the whole MFF thing,
yeah,
and so yeah, so if you look at 1815 on gold, the volume spike right there, and that would tell you that's a swing. And then 1939, oh, I caught a crazy trade. I caught a crazy trade from 1939 to like 2150 or something like that. That was a crazy trade. But yeah, my whole group caught that trade. We bought in at 1939, 1967, 1983, 1996, 2003. Those were all my signals. 2011, and that was it.
hmm
Yeah,
yeah,
I
for
remember all
sure.
my trades. That trade at least, because I had a bad
Yeah.
October because dollar was consolidating at
hmm
that time.
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna lie.
Dollar was in consolidation October when the war just came out. Dollar was in consolidation, and so when that happens, we're about to see crazy expansion or something's about to happen.
Yeah, because that's definitely how I lost mine. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I
Real
had lost
transparent.
I had lost a withdrawal at that time.
Yeah, me too.
I had a 38K withdrawal coming in on FTMO, and because all that choppiness, I wasn't disciplined enough to say, let me just walk away, let me just chill out, let
Yeah.
me just wait for this shit to
It
settle.
wasn't until I blew mine that I said, you know what, let me just sit up.
Yeah, no, and
But
that
sometimes that's
happened.
how it be.
Yeah, it's like that. That's why, like with trading, it's always good to always have multiple accounts everywhere,
Mhm.
and also just knowing narrative, like knowing narrative. I didn't know till like the second week of October that seeing that, oh wow, dollar's just literally bouncing from discount to premium, discount to premium, discount to premium. It's not breaking out at all. I was like, oh wow, this is literally accumulation right now. Let me
Mhm.
wait for the manipulation move, and then
You take the
well,
distribution.
yeah, and you take the distribution. That's what happened. And then EU went back down, and then we officially sold off on dollar on the monthly SIBI, and that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I called the top. I didn't want to believe it though. And what was fucking with me is Twitter. Twitter was fucking with my mental because me and Jordan were like, yo, this is the top. This is definitely the top. I was like, yeah, definitely the top. But I still wanted to go bullish. The whole ICT community was bullish, bullish, bullish.
Yeah, I was
I
bullish
was
too.
bearish,
On the
but I was
dollar, right?
still
You
taking,
said on the dollar?
yeah,
Yeah, I was bullish too. I still.
yeah. I was leaning towards bearish because I did want to. I saw the monthly SIBI, but I was also bullish because there was a weekly high on the left. It was like 107,
Yeah.
800.
Yeah, that's
I was
exactly what I was
like,
looking
yo, I
at.
think that wants to get taken first. But then when they closed in the daily gap, I was like, okay, yeah, it's gonna go
Yeah,
bearish now.
I changed my
And
bias
then
once it broke that
and
shit.
then FOMC this week, yo, I missed my trade. So I called a limit order out on gold at 1978. Wednesday, we turtle souped it. We went to 1974. The entire London we popped. And then New York, we went sideways for a bit. And then 1:55 p.m. there was like a 5 minute gap on the breaker at like 1978. And right there, 2 p.m. sent.
And the audience probably confused all this
Yeah,
terminology.
my bad. I just
Listen.
the
For the
no,
non-traders watching this, you guys got to tap into like a
no, it's just
lot
like
of hours and weeks and months of information to understand what we're talking about right now.
yeah, no, it gets crazy. But it's a skill set, at the
Mhm,
end time, it's any type of skill set. Like someone goes to aeronautics school, they're building airplanes, you know what I
mhm.
mean? They're spending what 3, 4 years doing that. Same thing with trading, this is what people don't understand. The whole like IML stuff gave Forex a bad name, but at the end of the day, this is really how people make money.
Mhm.
This is how the 1% makes money, regardless of all the bullshit that you went through, all the trauma and emotional damage that you may have went through with IML. Regardless, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, trading is real.
Right.
At the end of the day, there's an algorithm that moves price. At the end of the day, there's something that can be premeditated,
Mhm.
right? And when you have something like that, that's a model for you to make money on because you only need something to repeat over and over again. That's all you need. And once you can figure that out, you got a recipe.
Yeah, because
So,
I feel like for trading, I feel like the industry itself just became so well, it became saturated because so many people want to trade now. I feel like it also became like something that people don't take seriously because it went from something where it's like you think of these guys on Wall Street in suit and ties to
Mhm.
now somebody that's just chilling at home is just doing this and making the same. Well, not the same, but well, you never know. But making that type of money, you know,
Yeah.
especially too, it's like when you think Wall Street and suits, you tend to think white guys. Now you're thinking now you're seeing more minorities getting involved and stuff like
Yeah.
that, or even too like even overseas. There's a lot of Asians that are like into the trading thing.
Mhm.
You think it's only them. You only think it's the Wall Street guys, but now it's like everybody worldwide,
But,
especially in Africa. Like there's a lot of them in
yeah.
Africa.
You know what really separates like the traders that really make money and then just like marketers that sell courses and stuff like that? It's really your discipline. It's like you as
Yeah,
a person.
definitely shout
You
out to
know,
Gene because he used to say that a lot.
mhm. That's my guy, yo, Gene. Mad love for him. That was my first prodigy.
How's
That
he
was my
doing?
first millionaire.
How's he doing?
Yo, he's doing amazing.
I
He's
gotta
doing
tap in.
amazing.
Where's he at? I definitely want to
He's
reach
I
out.
think he's traveling Dubai right now. Either
Okay.
he's Dubai or
No,
something
no, I
like
mean
that.
like in terms of like his platform, whatnot. Like is he
Oh, he's on
still
Twitter right now. He got like
okay?
45K followers on
I
Twitter.
gotta check him out. I feel
He's
like I
doing his
fell out
thing. He does some
or fell off.
podcasts. He drops value on Twitter.
Okay.
Um, he's going to the gym. He created like a little like public telegram for fitness.
Hmm.
So it's called like the Daily Seed or something like that. Yeah, I remember Gene when he was skinny like me. He was skinny as hell.
Oh, you got big compared to like when I knew you.
Yeah, I'm lifting now.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
I
in the
definitely see
gym.
it.
I'm in the gym now. Incline pushing like 75s. Yeah, I'm pushing some weight now. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie. So yeah, Gene's doing well. I'm proud of him. That's like that was the one suit I put a lot of hours in. I really put a lot of hours into him.
Hmm.
And then he took everything and ran with it. He found me from the Go Gods chat.
Oh, there you
Gene had
go.
like $4 left to his name, like when he
Like
joined,
U.S. or
like US dollars. Like he was in Nigeria.
yeah.
He 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 was a smart kid. I knew it. I knew he was a smart kid. He was studying to become I think he wanted to become a doctor or something. He was talking to me. I was talking to him. I was like, yo, like he was like, yo, my parents want me to go to school. I'm like, yo, Gene, you're a great trader. You should stick with this. Trust me. You're gonna become good. You're gonna be well. And look at him. He's
He's a millionaire.
he's a millionaire. He got a 6-figure crypto portfolio as well. Right. He listened to me with the ISO stuff as well. He's good. He's solid. And he got a lot of hate on Twitter. It sucks because like now he's going through what I used to go through in IML. And it's like I be replying to comments like, yo, Gene, yo, you know better than this. You know better.
Mhm.
Stop playing these little kids on Twitter. Like, it's toxic. I'm glad I never made a name for myself on Twitter. It's
Mhm.
toxic on there. Like there's a whole bunch of like little ICT kids running around. It's like saturated as hell. It's
I feel like
bad.
it was like that for you.
What?
I feel like it was like that for you.
Yeah, no, it was like that for me. I got a lot of hate. I got a lot of hate. People started to hate that I was using ICT concepts. ICT even called me out.
Yeah. I wanted to get
He
into
was
that.
like, it was like February 2020 or something like that.
Mhm.
Called me on a webinar. I wasn't even doing anything bad. I did good. I did good things. He doesn't say anything now though.
Yeah, that
Um,
is true.
but that's where I'm proud. I wake up every day and I'm proud of like the legacy I left because of what I was doing. A lot of people are in better places in life. There's a lot of people
Indirectly
are
too,
doing, yeah,
because
indirectly.
someone like me,
Like
I'm a testimony
somebody,
to that.
yeah, I taught somebody taught another person that went on to a whole other went to like a whole other level. And it's crazy because now like my life is completely different. Now it's just like I'm worried about a couple things, right? Which is one, my signal service, my education, the platform that me and Jordan are about to release, which is
Okay.
basically gonna have my education like linked into it. So we're gonna be the first platform out there that's going to be giving our quality education.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, oh, how are you guys gonna make money? Well, we're gonna train profitable traders, and then we're gonna copy profitable traders.
Right.
Literally, we're gonna operate like a real firm,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna take over the space that way. Because when people purchase a challenge account, they're gonna get my education,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna train them.
Yeah. So
So
that's a good start right there.
and then cryptocurrency, like that's the reason why I made this sweater because this is literally all the ISO
Yeah, 'cause I
cryptos
remember
on them.
I said that offset. I was like, "You got your own merch now? I never even seen that
Yeah.
before."
So I'm trying to send a message out, like just subtly.
You're the trendsetter. That's what you try. That's what
Uh,
that's what I get from you. You're the trendsetter.
yeah, like,
Like this
and
is SMT. This is what we're into. Like
yeah, ISO, and this I created this in 2020.
Oh wow.
Um, because I'm a big believer in ISO cryptos, like
Yeah, you
100%.
definitely made me believe
XLM,
it.
XRP, Algo, IOTA, Chainlink, Filecoin, Cold Stacks, ICP, XFin Network, um, Gala, Radium, um,
It's a whole list of
H
them.
bar,
Oh,
Helium.
H bar. I
H
definitely
bar
had
is
that.
Helium.
I had that in my notes for some reason. I was looking at it the other day. I was like, what is this? What is this?
I'm actually gonna be buying Dogecoin too, not for a long term hold, just because of
Not financial
Elon's.
advice, by the
Yeah, not
way.
financial advice.
We're not financial advisors.
Not
No
financial advice.
compromise.
Um,
Just know that's
Educational
what he's
purposes
doing.
only. Um, but yeah, no, I'm gonna do that play, like the Dogecoin play, because of Elon Musk with the whole Twitter turning that into a financial company. Once that happens, I see a big a big pump on Dogecoin, and then it's gonna tank after.
Mhm.
So I just want to ride that to CP and then just get out of there. But like when we talk about like where we are now into our economy, like we're in a point where the next generation of Warren Buffett's going to be created.
Yeah, and
That's where we
it's gonna
currently
be
stand.
multiple of them at that.
And you know how I know we're still early in crypto? That's how I know. You go to an average person on the street, right? Like, hey, you got cryptocurrency? Or you go to like your cousin's house, or you go to like, say
Mhm.
you're dating your significant other, ask their mom, they'll be like, hey, do you know about crypto? Da, 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 right? And you're gonna see their hesitation, right? And that's how you know that like the elites are doing their job right.
Mhm.
They're keeping the competition out, right? Because there's still people like that are literally not touching it.
Or people just jump into Bitcoin. Like in
Yeah.
terms of like that's their answer. They'd be like, oh yeah, Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, or people buying Bitcoin at 60K and like 50K and then getting liquidated back down to 15,000, and then now we're back at 42, but they got liquidated already. You
So
know
they
what I
don't want to
mean?
do it.
Um, so that's where we are right now, and that's where I say like everyone should be really just putting their energy towards
Mhm.
right now is like learning about crypto, learning how to trade, learning how to do sales, commissions, creating their own products, stuff like that,
Mm.
and make their own money. Because if you live in New York or you live in America, inflation is only just gonna keep going up. We're gonna do small cuts, like Jerome said. We're gonna do like small cuts the first quarter. We're gonna do three cuts of interest rates, but besides that, like we're gonna keep going up.
Yeah, it's funny to say. Oh, so you actually said something interesting. You're just saying like trade is definitely something to get into, and you probably know my boys Sakib and Joseph.
Sakib, yeah,
Sakib and Joseph.
Sid and Sakib,
Yeah, like
man, don't
they
make me
would all
Facetime him right now.
they would always say like, yo, like in terms of the mindset, you kind of gotta look at trading like a video game. How do you feel
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, you do. Like, explain. What did they
Like he
say?
said, video game meaning like, okay, yeah, you're using real money. I mean, some people probably use a demo. Some people have funded accounts, so it's like just the suspense of probably losing all that capital is probably the only thing that's gonna mess with your mind. But probably like in the demo phases, it's like it's whatever. But it was saying, yeah, you're gonna lose money, you're gonna make money, but like when you look at it like a video game where it's like, okay, at least like if I like you die in a video game, you have another life.
Mhm.
You could just play it again. It's kind of the same thing here with
Where
trading, where it's
you blow
like,
an account, you can do it
listen,
again.
even if you gotta wait some time to do it again, like 6 months or a year or whatever, you could still come back and start trading again.
Hmm.
So like that's what we kind of meant, like from a video game type of
Yeah,
perspective.
like it is kind of like a video game because you think about it, right? Like there's things that repeat, right? There's things that repeat. You can always start again. It's just the emotional damage. How much emotional damage
Hmm.
are you willing to withstand? Because I won't lie, this is a industry just for the 1%, for like
Yeah.
the strong hearted. Right? This is not for no weak men, no weak hearted, no like, oh, if I lose $100, my life is over. Oh, like it's not for that type of person. It's for people that want to become elites. It's for people that want to become rich, and it's for alphas. Right? It's not for people who were average. Trading is gonna take a lot out of you. It's gonna burn your mental capital. You're gonna get stressed. You're gonna want to jump off a building at one point. You want to crash your car. Like you
Trust me,
want to
we've been
close
there,
your
done
eyes and
that.
crash your car at one point because you should have closed the trade and now you blew your daily loss or something. Or and the next day your setup comes, you're like, "Fuck, I don't have money for my account no more," and like you're asked out and you're tight, and you're
Yeah.
tight and you're upset. You're like, "Damn, if I didn't take that trade, I didn't blow my daily loss. I'd be up XYZ. I would have passed my account. Would be next. Like that's the
Mhm.
whole. It's like a whole mental thing.
But that's also why they say, like, the I feel like it's the golden rule. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, yo, I know my model. I'm trying to double down on it, and I'm trying to get to the bag fast because
No, that's true.
crypto is going. So I need 200 bands in here ASAP.
Okay.
Like I want like my goal is 10K in each crypto of ISOs. Like that's my goal. Because if I do that, guaranteed $5 million. Like I did the math.
I
I
mean,
did like okay, this one's three. Like each high is okay 3,000%. This one's 5,000. Someone's like 27,000%. I'm like what the fuck? And then like you do the math on it, you're like okay, so if I do $2,500 in here and it goes 2,000% XYZ, or this one goes to 27,000%, which sounds crazy, but it's doable. Wow,
mhm.
like man, I started adding numbers.
Especially these are numbers that you're not, like, unfamiliar with. Like, you definitely done these
Yeah,
before.
no, like I took a trading account before from 47K to 950K in a week. Like that was in July 2019. Like that's when Corey as well. Corey flipped his account from Bitcoin to oil. We sold oil like
Wait,
all
Corey,
week.
who's Corey? Corey.
Corey Pippen.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. He flipped his account too that week. To like 200K, over 200K. And that was wild times. That was like my record right there.
Mhm.
And I was doing crazy. I was doing crazy. I was doing 100 lots, 85 lots on oil,
Oh,
doing
no, I remember that oil trade.
dumb
I saw, like, 85, what I think, was it 800K or it was 80K? I forgot.
85, like a profit, floating profit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you posted that
85.
screenshot on, well,
I
you
posted
I
a
was on the
recording.
Zoom. Yeah, I was on the Zoom when you did it. Then I seen the screenshot. I said, "Nah." That's why I knew I had to, that's why I said I'm sticking with Gold
Yeah, and
Gods.
I
I
showed
said,
everyone
"No
it was a
way."
real account, and everyone went crazy.
Everybody went cra
Everybody was
yeah.
going crazy because I made my whole team so much money because gold popped like 800 pips that week. Every day we sold it. It just redistributed, sold off. It was an sell model. It was just each
Yeah,
time. I was like, and it happened at the same time every day. 7 o'clock on the dot. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. I'm like, yo,
just giving up the bag.
shit's crazy.
And that's the thing too, I feel like that's what I love about flow and profit. It's like when you in flow and profit, it's like you feel more risk averse to do it, like, to take that extra entry because it's like, well, at least I know I got money right here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's also the bad way to look of it too, because like
Yeah, because you
floating
could blow it.
floating profit is not realized gains. You know what I mean?
True.
So same thing with like cryptocurrency. So that's one thing. Like, that's how it fucks with you. That's how trading fucks with you. Because imagine this. Imagine like when we traded, the money would come out right in front of you.
Mhm.
Like imagine that you saw like your money, like the numbers flowing on the screen. You saw that literally in front of you. It'd be completely different because you saw that cash right in front of you. You closed the trade. You
No,
wouldn't
that's
even,
of
you
course,
would
yeah.
not hold. I would not be holding $357,000 of floating profit as a 23-year-old.
No, hell no.
Yo, like I
Even if it
would
went up
not be
to five
holding
hundred
that.
thousand, I'll be satisfied with
I'd be
that 300
closing
just
it out.
because,
I'd be closing it out.
Mhm.
And that's where like I tell people, how to catch your greed. Ask yourself like ask yourself like how long is it gonna take for like my parents to make this money? And once you think about that, you're like, yeah, I'm closing this trade.
Mhm.
Because if you think about, oh wow, it takes my mom to work 2 weeks to make like $1,200, for example, forget about it. You're closing that trade. You're
Hell
not
yeah.
getting greedy. You're not letting a trade turn around on you either.
Yeah,
So
I used to tell my downlines too, like, just focus on, like, your bills, like, focus on realistic things. Like, yeah,
yeah.
like, for example, let's say you had $1,000 day. It's like, yeah, that might be your best day ever and you might take pride in it, but don't be greedy for $1,000 thinking you're about to get 2,000 when you know your car notes due this week. It
Yeah.
might be a good $300-$400, then your phone bill, extra 100, whatever. Get those
Yeah.
out the way, and then
Mhm.
if you have a little 200-300 back, you can put it into your account, or if you want to go use as your belief check, which I was talking to my first guest about earlier today. A belief check, go spend it on whatever makes you happy.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I remember my first check. Well, not my first check. My first withdrawal. It was like $250. No, yeah, 200 or like $500 or something like that. What I do? I went to like I think I went to the store. I bought some. I bought like I bought 14s, red 14s.
you see, I was actually thinking he was gonna laugh at me because my first was like 900, and I spent it on like the human races, the Pharrell shoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they were like the dead stock ones too, so it's like the price got inflated crazy.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I did that, and I think I bought like the best weed in the world. I smoked that shit out. Yeah, I think
At
that's
least you're
what.
honest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bought like Then I bought some Doja Pack. It was like what was it? It was like Banger or some shit. I remember. I got so high off that shit.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like one thing though, like people, you know what's wrong with the industry right now? People are rushing to get funded,
Mhm.
and that's the problem. Don't rush that process
Mhm.
because you're trying to prove to yourself that you can manage money, but you're trying to force your trades, and then people get a drawdown on their account, and they get emotionally damaged. Like, I've been down like 9% once on a challenge account, and I
Mhm.
brought it all the way back. It's just that's what it takes. It's
Yeah.
just like that mental discipline.
Yeah. So one thing I actually wanted to tap into earlier is just so you just saw DJ Nick and he was speaking about sickle cell. So like you being a cancer survivor, what was your experience like and what would you, I guess, advise like, people currently going through that?
Like I watched this documentary.
Mhm.
It was called Heal. That documentary, I watched it before, like the week before I was gonna go into chemo. So like it kind of happened. Everything happened really fast. So let me just start from the beginning. So basically, it was like July 14th.
Mhm.
I had taken a nap at night. Woke up at 12 o'clock in the morning. And I got like
What year was this? This was like 2000,
2020.
2020, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
'Cause I
COVID.
knew it was around there.
Yeah, it was July and COVID. And I woke up out of my nap and I couldn't move left or right or anything like that. I'm like, it felt mad. It just felt like solid. Felt like a brick. Like
Mhm.
I couldn't move at all. I got scared because I couldn't even like get up.
Mhm.
And so I went to the urgent care like that morning of, and I thought it was like it was my appendix because
Mhm.
at that time like I was eating like a little bad. I was having pizza, like, shit like that, greasy food. So I thought like maybe it's my appendix. Maybe I get my appendix removed. I thought that was it. And so they ran tests. We did a CT scan and stuff like that. They was like, we didn't find anything in your stomach, but we see like nodules in your lungs. So at that point, I was like, "Yo, damn, do I have lung cancer?" Or like,
I mean, yeah, like
or
that's
pneumonia,
crazy.
or like
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
You having like respiratory issues as well or
No,
oh wow.
no, it wasn't. I mean, I was smoking weed at the time and shit, but like nothing crazy. Um, and so what happened was they did did those tests, and then we basically did like an ultrasound because they felt like my right testicle, and they were like, "Yo, there's like a little bump, whatever." And so we did an ultrasound, and I got diagnosed, and then I had to do a surgery to remove my testicle basically. I ended up having a tumor on it.
Yeah.
And so literally the next week I was into chemotherapy. Had to do like 3.5 months.
Mhm.
So before I went into chemo that day, the weekend I watched this documentary called Heal. And in that documentary there was like this specific like line where she was like, I imagined chemo being being piranhas eating away tumors. So every day that I walked into my chemotherapy room, like I would literally envision that
Mhm.
happening. Like I would sleep. At the start, I couldn't sleep. Like I'd bring a book in. Like I brought like Think and Grow Rich. I brought like books with me, and then I couldn't focus. It's
Yeah.
hard. It was hard to focus. There was no Wi-Fi, no internet in there for 5 hours.
So you had to take a step from trading.
I didn't. No,
Oh,
I was
okay.
still doing Zoom calls. I was still calling out trades.
Oh, for real?
I had a
Oh, wow.
personal hotspot. Yeah, I had a personal hotspot. I was still calling out trades and during like 9:30 open
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Still doing Zoom calls, all that, as while I was still going through
Mhm.
chemo. um. So yeah, so I imagine like piranhas literally eating away my tumors, and that's kind of how like I guess I beat it. Looking back, I always had like that mindset. You gotta think that you're healthy. You
Mhm.
gotta manifest that,
Yeah.
and that played a major part. Um, I also, I wasn't eating as much. I couldn't eat as much, because of chemo. So like right now, if you try to tell me to eat a whole wheat bread with egg whites and turmeric, I will not eat it because that's what I was eating all the time when I had chemo, when I was going through chemo.
Mhm.
Um, so that's kind of how like I beat it. Watching that documentary and literally saying that to myself, like I was writing it, like
Mhm.
while I was like I had a journal with me, I was writing it down. I'm so happy and grateful now that piranhas are eating away my tumors. I'm happy and I'm healthy. I
And
wrote that,
it sounds funny on paper, but it's
but
like this
it's
is
like
real.
this is real
Yeah.
manifestation. Like it was fun. Like this kind of manifestation is real. So yes, like 2 days ago. I was with my girl, and we were driving, and there was never a parking spot by her house. So I was like, "Yo, let's manifest a parking spot." She's like, "Yeah, all right, bet, let's manifest it." So we're like, "Yeah, there's gonna be a parking spot, like three of them. They're gonna be three of them. It's gonna be on one be on my left, one's gonna be on the middle. This that." We go, boom, parking spot right there
Right
on
on
the
the
left.
left.
And then we went to like this ramen spot, right? Went to
Mhm.
this ramen spot, and there's usually a long ass line. If you want a good ramen spot, like a real authentic Japanese ramen spot, it's called Ichiran. It's in
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, right? They
Yeah.
have them in the city. Yo, I try to go, bro. It's the one where you sit by yourself, right? The
Yeah, it's like a
solo one.
booth.
Bro, I tried to go to the one in Times Square like a month ago, bro. Like the line was
Brooklyn's
going
crazy.
down like two,
Yeah, go
three
to the one in
blocks.
Brooklyn. It's a
No, of
little
course,
better.
but it was just like because I work on Wall Street, so it's
Oh,
like I
okay.
was right there. So I just said, let me
Yeah.
check it out because I always like always wanted to try it. 3 blocks
Yeah.
down, bro.
Yeah. So there's usually a line, right? So we're manifesting, we're driving, pulling up, pulling up. All right, there's not gonna be a line. We're just gonna walk right in. No line. Walk right in.
But I would assume the Brooklyn one isn't that busy though.
No. It's
You
busy.
guys busy?
It's
Okay.
busy. I remember we go usually on Sundays and stuff.
Because when I see the
Um,
content creators do it, it looks so empty. Like no one else is there but them. Or whatever.
nah, it gets busy. I remember one morning it was brick.
Hmm.
The line was crazy long. It was crazy long. Yeah. So I mean that's kind of how I beat it. And also I was also just like, I have a strong mindset at the same time.
Hmm.
Like I knew this is not the way I'm going out. I knew this is not there's no way. There's no way I'm going out like this.
Hmm.
Like my birthday is June 16th, and my astrology for my birthday,
Oh, that's my cousin's birthday too, I think.
the astrology for my birthday is the day of capital investment.
Mm,
And it's about money markets, investing and stuff like that. I
right.
was like, there's no way. I'm built for this. I'm built for this lifestyle.
Hmm.
Like it has to be true. So yeah, that's kind of how like I fought like with like chemo and stuff like that. I was stage 3, so it was kind of bad. I was a bad risk patient. I had basically went all the way to my lungs. So if it would have gone to my brain, it would clip for me.
Because I remember one time you even showed up on the Zoom with like you had your head was shaved. Like you
I
had,
mean, yeah, I shaved my
yeah.
head because I didn't want my hair falling out on my bed.
That's when I found out. I was like, oh shit, I never knew.
Yeah, like I tried people to try to tell my team to keep it like a secret. I didn't
Hmm.
want like everyone knowing, and then whatever, chairman started finding out and everyone started blasting on the internet. I didn't like that part.
Yeah, and
There's too much
it was
energy.
sick too because people try to use that like for a sympathy case where it's like, oh, like this guy, he's a 6-figure leader and he has cancer.
Yeah.
I don't respect when people used to do stuff like that or put like God into it, like religion into it.
Yeah. I don't like that, but it's whatever. They want to say what they want to say. Everyone, it was all love at the end of the day. Can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah.
But that's it made me stronger. It made me like the emotional intelligence that I have with trading is
Hmm.
elite. Like it's elite. And I think I give it to like getting like going through chemo. Cause like, you get stripped apart, you gotta build from the ground up.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's basically how that went.
Yeah. So any final words that you'd like to give like the audience, whether it's from a trading perspective, chemo's perspective, even if you want to speak to the people that's working right now that were in your shoes, like those college students interning and stuff
Yeah,
like
like
that.
college students, stuff like, learn, get financially literate, you know, like become financially literate, learn how to trade, learn to invest, learn how to save your money, money management. Don't get into debt. Don't spend. Stop going out on weekends. You know, all that. All that stuff is dumb.
Mhm.
Stop hanging around with friends that don't do anything. Like kids that like literally go and get high every day. Like don't chill. Stop that. I used to do that. I had crazy addiction issues. Like I had crazy addiction issues. Like and the money just highlighted it. And then I had to like take a step back and I was like, yo, what am I doing?
Mhm.
Like I'm making so much money, making so much money, and this like I can't be a leader like that. So I had to get clean. I stopped.
Yeah, because before you were chairman, we was like, "Yo, this is the chairman of the charts." That's where that title started from. Because my whole group used to call each other, like we used to joke around, call each other that.
Mhm.
But like that was real life you at one point.
Yeah, chairman of the
And then you
chart.
became the
Yeah,
chairman. So it's like,
yeah, that was a good time, man. But like, what's really important right now is really understand where we sit in like. There's times, there's like certain periods in history, and we're sitting in that period of history where like there's a big change, and most of it's gonna be from a wealth perspective.
Mhm.
Like there's a big they're erasing the middle class right now. If you don't realize it, like the middle class is gone,
Mhm.
right? It's either you're poor or you're rich, because right now the average the middle class right now is what 115K salary.
Mhm.
So think about that. If you're not making 115K salary, you're poor basically. You're not
Yeah.
going nowhere. Like you're not gonna elevate, and the only way to do that is strict money management and putting like literally eating
Investments.
like yeah, investments. That's where it's got to be. And crypto is gonna be that way. Crypto stocks, trading, those
Mhm.
are the only ways to make it out right now. Right. I wouldn't say like only ways, but
But those are like,
tangible.
yeah,
You know, it's tangible. We don't like real estate, right? If you do real estate, you're gonna need a
it's a
lot of
lot of
money.
work.
You
It's a
know,
lot of
and
work to put into.
yeah,
Like these are more so you
and
just
just
buy
watch who
it
you
and wait.
follow too. You can tell the real from the fakes. Stop following people that flash lifestyle. Stop
Like
following
Gene used
people
to
that
say,
flash
Lambo
cars.
McLaren.
Stop following people that flash jewelry because you don't see people who got $100 million portfolios doing that.
Nope.
You barely even see them doing that. They're low key. They're humble. And they do their thing.
Mhm.
They provide value. They trade. They look at their investments. They look at their stocks. And that's what they do. You know, they're not out here shooting motivational videos. They're not out here, you know, like they're not out here talking. Oh, you should quit your job and
Oh
do this,
man.
that. Like all that stuff is whack. You look foolish. You look foolish. That's not how a real investor should operate.
Mhm.
Real investor believes in stoicism. You know, a real investor believes in Taoism. A real investor understands balance. Understands how to be a Zen. Right. One person I follow a lot is Sun Tzu. Right. The art of the
Yeah,
warrior.
all the work. Yeah.
Right. Because that is literally trading. I'm trying to take my meat. I'm trying to gut it. Go to the next. Right. I'm trying to slaughter it. Like, it sounds disgusting, but like I'm just trying to kill. You know,
No, I mean
I'm
the
just
yeah,
trying
the
to
analogy
kill.
is there.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to kill, and that's the mindset though, and it gets bad. One thing about trading is this is what happened to me in my life. I became so numb that my emotions became numb.
Yeah,
So
definitely
then
feel
my
that.
relationships started to die out. So right now I'm in this situation where like I'm trying to separate my personal life, my trading life, because you have to desensitize yourself from the chart.
I feel the same way.
You know, you have to like the emotions that you have, you have to really just silence it.
Mhm.
And you can't let that flow into your personal life. And it happened to me. My relationships died out, my friendships died out. I became cold. I was like, yo, anyone who don't trade, they're they're trash. Like,
I ain't gonna lie,
you know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
guilty of that.
and I kind of do regret that.
Yeah.
I had gotten an ego at one point, like in 2018, 2019. I
Mhm.
developed the ego, and then cancer humbled me, and I changed my ways,
Yeah.
right? Like all that stuff really just kind of growth, growth. And I'm at that period where like I don't really care about anything besides like my business, my significant other, my family, and just making myself the next Warren Buffett, because that's where we see where the change is,
Mhm.
right? Cryptocurrency trading, all that. It's just you have to do the inner work. You gotta do the spiritual healing. Because if you if you have the skills, right,
Mhm.
but you're blocked in the spiritual, you're not receiving it in the physical. Like that's just how it works. If
Right.
you're spiritual, if the spiritual realm is all fucked up, you gone through it. Like I was abused as a kid. Like I went through so much trauma as a child. Like the emotional like damage I've seen is crazy. Like my dad is crazy. He's a crazy guy. Like a crazy father figure, you know? And like that's what I had to deal with. I had to
Mhm.
deal with like trauma. I had to deal with PTSD. I had to deal with anxiety. I had to deal with depression. I had to deal with a lot of mental issues growing up. Like a lot. Because we weren't even allowed to have like friends over because my mom was scared that we would tell our friends or our dad would lash out and
I
start
mean, you
like,
was Indian, right? You from Guyana?
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm Haitian, so
yeah,
I
like,
feel you on that.
yeah, we couldn't have nobody over the crib. Like, we couldn't go to other people's houses because my mom was scared that we would tell something to their children. They would tell their
Yep.
parents, and then
Mhm.
Child Protective Service (CPS) would come, and
Oh no,
that
not
was
that
it.
extreme.
And so, like growing up, like as a kid, like I was quiet. Like, I was really quiet, but it was trauma. It was fear. My dad instilled fear in me, and that's really like what that was. And that came out on the chart. I realized I was hesitant, wasn't making decisions like the right way, lacked confidence because my dad would tell, "Oh, you're the dumbest one." No, I'm not. First of all, I'm the smartest one. You just jealous. Um, all those things, right? And there's this book called Thoughts and Feelings,
Mhm.
right? There's a book called Thoughts and Feelings. It's a workbook, and I suggest like everyone to get it. It's like how to control your moods, anxiety, depression, like fear, all this stuff. It's a workbook and it helped me a lot with my trading, helped me a lot with just like my personal life too.
Mhm.
And that book is key because I didn't really go to therapy. I used that as my therapy. Um, yeah,
Yeah. So, it's definitely a pleasure to have you, Tim.
Yeah, for
As
sure.
always, show love to all of our guests as well as us if you're new. And Tim, if you just want to let everybody know where you can find you at.
Yeah, for sure. On Instagram, Tim Trades, and my Twitter, Tim Trades. That's it.
And then in terms of SMT, if any traders want to join,
Yeah, if anyone wants to join, you can tap into my bio. Link is in my bio, and look out for our prop firm releasing the next month.
and just like that, we're out.